Peter Baines, welcome to 5 Minutes with O.
Thanks, Lan.
So, we've been working with you for a few years, so I know a bit about you, but please explain to our clients, how does somebody from police forensics end up as one of the busiest speakers in Australia?
Yeah, well, I asked myself that question too, but I think it's because working in Bali after the bombings, then Thailand after the tsunami, and leading both Australian and international teams through those areas, we were clearly faced with a lot of challenges. Challenges around leading a workforce of 400 people from 36 different countries without a structure in place or without any time to plan brings forward a lot of contextual challenges that people deal with in business. It's about building teams, about leadership without authority, and about clarity of purpose. And working over there in those conditions, you know, crisis for me, it's a bit like the critical testing ground of leadership. So I think if so many of the lessons that I took from working in those environments apply to business. And it doesn't matter whether it's a small business or a large corporate in Australia or outside. My experience over the last couple of years is a message appeals to so many people on a contextual level.
I love the little, you know, the one you say, no time, no money, no teams, no worries.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did the crisis clock come about, and how do you teach that in your workshops?
Yeah, the crisis clock is looking at energy, because what a lot of the stuff that we do is just project management. And if you're involved in a project, and I think we've all been involved in different things where there's a lot of energy to start, and the second quarter is people are operating effectively, but the third quarter is where the energy drops, and the executive or the people who have launched it will move on to another area, but the teams that are leading it have to deal with that drop in energy.
And that's when leadership matters, right?
Absolutely, and if we can be aware of what's going on, then that's when we motivate our staff, then we time back into the clarity of purpose of what's most important to them, and understand that it's not the end, but we can just help them move through to the final fourth quarter, which is the most important, to bring it all together and bring some finality to what you're doing.
What I love about your Leadership Matters too, it's your beautiful photography. You take all of those photographs yourself?
Look, there's some beautiful images there, and I'm fortunate that I've taken a lot of them myself, and I've got people who have given me some good photos, and it really captures the work that we're doing and the kids. And you know, it's important that the images they don't need to be graphic images. And I think that the images that I show is, as an example, one of my favourite ones, which I use for demonstrating leadership, is a monk who's sitting talking to one of our guys.
Yes,
and
in
I
that
think,
little room.
yeah, it's just the presence of the monk and the authority that he exudes. And I think that's what the whole theory of mine about leadership without authority is about. You don't have to be a positional leader. It's about the actions and the reactions of people. And for me, that monk, he has that. He epitomises all of that.
And it's amazing how you make the material be so uplifting too. Everybody leaves feeling empowered.
Well, I think it's it's a story that touches people, and it takes them on a journey, and it'll make people laugh, and it'll make people cry, and it makes people reflect upon their own journey in life, and for so many people they take out of it different things, but I think it's an incredibly positive story, because at the end of the leadership part, we're talking about the formation of Hands Across the Water, which is the charity that I formed, and why I started speaking, and the orphanages that we've built, and the homes that we've given the kids, and the lives that we're turning around. And that's where it's not just a story of something that happened 5 years ago. It's a story of something that happened 5 years ago but continues up until the last keynote I gave was updated with information from a week before. So that's how current the messages are, and the stories that compile it all are.
And your main message, especially I'm thinking of that last few minutes of Leadership Matters, it's very much about action. You're the action man. So it's not surprising that your next keynote now is the courage to commit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a really I feel really connected with this keynote, and not that I didn't with the leadership one, and not that the space for leadership obviously remains, but this is just the second stage to the story. It's around what's happened since, what I've done since, and the growth and the additional messages that I thought I've got to share. I've got to share with people.
But it's such a journey of you learning what sustainability is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about, we look at the courage to make hard decisions, the courage to deal with the circumstances that are presented before you, and it's a big focus on business sustainability. So it's looking at what practices you have in place and what you need to ensure that your business remains sustainable and your life remains sustainable. Because we can say you can care all you want, but if you don't have sustainable practices, you won't survive. And we demonstrate that with some beautiful stories of the communities that we're working with.
Peter Baines, thank you for spending 5 minutes with O.